Top of the world goodness, I wish you today on the newspaper headlines and editorial on Reveiw in 94.1 FM. My name is Olaoluwa, aware the news lady. We're here to dish out the news as usual. Kingsley Bassi, good morning.
Hi, good morning. Kingsley Bass is my name. You can call me KSB. Welcome again to the newspaper headlines and editorial. Use that hashtag Rainbow Morning Show and join the conversation when you spot a headline that you fancy and would like to react to. Of course, let's get straight to the news stands.
Yes, we start with the Punch newspaper headlines. Katsina mass abduction. Bandits first took schoolboys to neighboring villages, say residents. Fear grips 26 infected generals' aides. COVID-19 positive commanders spread. Church founder herbalist get 4-year imprisonment for trading in human parts. Video of Buhari's visiting cows sparks criticism. Well, let's move on. Bandits raid Niger churches, kill pastor, abduct wife, and others. Moving on. Police tortured me, collected 100,000 naira. Alleged I was gay. That's according to a victim. Fuel imports gulped 700.46 billion naira in 3 months, according to the MBS. AAUA workers allegedly demand pounded yam to supervise a student. Did you get that? AAUA workers allegedly demand pounded yam to supervise students. Monarch Council queries why military can't occupy Lake Chad and Sambisa. And yes, there's a video trending right now, captured here by the Punch newspaper. Ugandan musician Cindy Sanyu lambasts Omale over sold-out concert, while other Ugandan artists starved. And Deputy Governor, former Reps leader, alleged Makinde relegated them, according to a report. Marketers refused to obey 5 naira reduction in petrol price. Police vow crackdown as Ogun mob kills travelers, burns cars, and it happened very close by here, around Asheshe area of Muri. AJ versus Pulev, criticisms trail Abiodu's congratulatory message. It was something like, AJ's win justifies Ogun State's investment in sports. And people are asking, what's the relationship between Anthony Joshua and whatever is going on in Ogun State?
In Kankara abduction, Sultan queries federal government political will, and some more headlines. Northern elders restate calls for sack of service chiefs, foreign help. Abduction of students, a slap on Buhari's face, says JNI. Northern youths call for restructuring. Arms for citizens. Okay? The United Nations laments kidnap of students. Okay, excuse me there. All right, let's move on to some more stories. Appointment of interim administrators for NDDC legal, says Pandef, MITI, and as well as others. How I lost my pregnant wife to unlawful police detention by widower, and to some more stories on the cover page of The Guardian today. Crisis looms in Ghana as Mahama rejects presidential poll result. Soyinka flates Buhari for failing to speak on insecurity. NMA confirms second coronavirus wave, seeks safer vaccines for Nigerians. The NMA is the Medical Association, that's the Nigerian Medical Association. But one last story here on the cover page of The Guardian today. Army fumigates headquarters as 26 officers test positive for COVID. That's what The Guardian looks like this Tuesday, at least the cover page.
Yes, let's get to Daily Post newspaper headlines right about now on the newspaper headlines and editorial. Well, on Kankara, Nigerian Army reveals number of students missing, how they were kidnapped. Federal government denies fixing new 162 naira per litre of petrol pump price. And let's get to this. Kano House of Assembly Speaker, Majority Leader resign. On Boko Haram, terrorists attack Nigerian refugees in Timor, kill 51. On insecurity, service chiefs no longer effective, should be sacked, Shetima tells Buhari. And on 2023, Makinde Adeyeye others beg Olubadan to support Tinubu for president. And stop killing my people. Stop killing my people. Onipokia tells Ogun Customs Controller. Ipman directs members to sell petrol at 162 naira per litre. And to the US election, it's time to respect people's will that came from Joe Biden after the Electoral College, did announce that he is the winner of the last election, confirmed his win over Trump. Now back to Kankara kidnap. Shoyinka reveals why students were abducted during Buhari's visit. And SARS protest, a failed Biafra movement that came from Garba. And still on Kankara, escaped schoolboy narrates what transpired, reveals number of students abducted. That is something that we also need to talk about today. Well, those are the headlines I can bring you from Daily Post newspaper.
We keep it going here on the colorful station Rainbow 94.1 FM. It's the newspaper headlines and editorial. Some more stories coming through for you this morning. Keep using the hashtag. We see those comments dropping one after the order. React to those stories, and at exactly 7:30, just about 5 minutes away, would get your comments and contributions in after analysis. We're talking about analysis in the studio. Just wait to meet him in a moment. Well, the Nation newspaper is next. Military abducted pupils taken away on motorcycles. That's the lead story on the cover page of the Nation today. With this riders, kidnappers demand ransom, end to aerial surveillance, not elders, GNI slammed government and United Nations, NLC, others flay boys kidnapped. Away from that now to CJN 6 better pay for judges, and Kwara governor backs United Nations he for she. Banks non-performing loans dip by 3.5%, and some more stories above the masthead. The Nation newspaper today. It's more Army generals test positive for COVID-19 or to COVID-19, and Zenith Bank's GMD Onyagu named Seras CEO of the year. Soldier killed as gunmen abduct foreigner in Oyo, and federal government ASU talks put off again. Looks like there's no hope whatsoever so far for university students to return to school. Akeredolu knows fate January 13. Ondo Assembly reinstates 4 suspended lawmakers. Those are the stories on the cover page of the Nation newspaper this Tuesday.
Yes, we do a quick update on the Kankara abduction before we get to other matters. Officially, analysis is starting on the newspaper headlines and editorial on Reveiw 94.1 FM. Yes, our dear analyst is right here in the studio. Sesan, Okunade, good morning.
Good morning, Olaoluwa.
Good morning.
KSB, good morning. Good morning, Lagosians, and good morning, Nigeria. It's nice to be here this morning.
It's nice to meet you. Now, the Sultan of Sokoto, Alhaji Saad Abubakar, led Jamaatul Nasrul Islam, yesterday expressed shock over the abduction of students of Government Science Secondary School, Kankara, Katsina State on Friday night. The GNI in a statement, abduction of JSSS Kankara students, a plunged mood for the poor masses, issued by its Secretary General Dr. Khalid, urged the President Muhammadu Buhari to hearken to the voice of Nigerians by revamping the security architecture of the country and addressing the nation. The Islamic group said this on Monday just as more facts emerged on the abduction of the schoolboys. Some residents who confided in correspondents said the bandits, after abducting the schoolboys at Kankara on Friday night, first took them to neighboring villages before conveying them to unknown locations. And, well, the GNI said Nigerians were tired of empty condemnations each time such tragedies as an abduction occurred without concrete steps to arrest the situation. Another resident did say that it was a reprisal, that, some days ago, something had happened in the area and vigilantes had gone there to go and, hurt some people in court, and that was supposed to be a reprisal.
Doesn't this
after
sound like
that.
deja vu? Last week or so, when we had the killing of rice farmers in Borno State, some residents there also did say this was a reprisal, or that rather was some reprisal from the insurgent.
And the question for me is that, according to this resident, some people were actually killed around that village before the vigilantes went for to fight back. And does this speak to the number or the number of abductions, attacks like this that are even not reported, they're not widely reported, unlike these major ones that we know about.
It's quite alarming, the issues that we are faced with security-wise. And most of the time we ask ourselves question, how safe are we? Because the military are overstretched. We have resorted into vigilante protecting themselves here and there. Quite disheartening. I read the report of that resident saying that a few days ago the vigilante actually visited the bandit area and attacked and even killed some of those banditry. So it was just like a reaction that, okay, you guys feel you are strong, but definitely they will be overwhelmed because they are military people. The only thing they can do is they understand the terrain. If they are very few, they can attack back. But the disheartening thing about this report is that it was reported that those guys came to pick those students via bike. So it's like they have a very fun-filled day doing that. I was thinking in my imagination, possibly they came with a truck where they would just push all because taking over 300 students from the report via bike, that means several numbers of bikes must have come, which should have raised a serious alarm. Olaoluwa, it's disheartening that the security issues that we faced is not encouraging, and it's really denting the image of this country. It's really affecting our economic activities because not anyone will want to come into this country to do business because of the unsafe situation that we have found ourselves. But what we keep hearing from the presidency and everyone is that they're on top of the game. But to me, it keep looking as if the situation is getting deteriorated day by day.
Well, according to reports, according to the governor of Katsina State, the bandits or whoever, the kidnappers, have reached out to them, and there are talks going on right now to ensure that the children are safe and that they are returned. So I don't know if we can take that to be a negotiation, but according to the governor, they have reached out, and the army, as against all other reports, have confirmed that there were actually 333 students unaccounted for or abducted so far. One came out of the wherever it is they were taken to, and according to reports, they were even taken to. They were first of all ferried to a neighboring
state, neighboring community,
before they were eventually moved out.
As you react to that, Okunade, let's also put in the fact that Nigerians are now reacting to images that is making the rounds right now of the president at a ranch, and they are complaining that the president is right there in the state. It won't take the president a lot to travel to the community where this happened. That's in Kankara from Daura, and
or even talk to the parents.
But as a matter of fact, the governor of the state had to visit the president to brief the president. Lots of persons are reacting to that. But would this have made any difference in your view?
Well, you see, we've said it over time that the president spokesperson, they will still come out and give us reason why the president is in a state where we have issues and he's not visiting
They
them.
actually have.
Their reason will always be quiet. I'm sure the security details are yet to clear the coast for the president. And the reason why the president was in the state was not to visit anyone. He was just there on his private visit. But this is personal. It's just to tell us how insensitive we are about the loss of life.
Well, some people believe that this is a personal jab at the president. Like, some people believe that for the kidnappers to have targeted the period when the president was around, they believe it was a personal message to the president, maybe to tell him that, see, we are the kings here. Even if you are around here, we still reign. So do you think this is something that this silence is targeted at these kidnappers, probably to make them feel irrelevant? That's how some people see it.
Yeah, it's not irrelevancy that we're talking of here. We're talking of having that human feeling, that sympathy, not a word from the president himself. We're talking of about over 300 children. 300 children. If you are not even going to visit, a word should come. And this is what we've been saying.
Has reacted,
we did not elect presidency. We elected the president, Muhammadu Buhari. At this point, we expect a word.
When Garuba Shehu,
who is Garuba Shehu? He was appointed.
He's the spokesman of the
He was
president.
appointed. At this point in time, there are issues that we don't expect the spokesman to speak about. If you are a father, and we mean a father indeed, that knows the travail to have a child, you will not go about to say your spokesman should speak on your behalf.
So you're expecting an address from the president?
Straight from him. Even if he cannot visit, you are in the States. A word should come from the man to let them know that I am actually empathy about these children. Not the spokesman. The spokesman are going to read to us the written scripts. It should have that human feeling. This is what we are saying. We are not even talking about the adults that are there. These are the people the so-called leaders call the future leaders of tomorrow. Just a word, we appease the parents and said, okay, we are on top of the game. Not the spokesman speaking. He is going to say this is what the president said. What stops the president from saying this is my word from you?
All right.
Okay, so as we talk about Katsina State, there are reports now as regards some other abduction. Guess where? Niger State. And think about the distance between Niger State and the seat of power, Abuja. Well, gunmen have kidnapped at least 22 persons in Ogu and Tegina communities in Niger State, according to reports. According to that report, a resident of Ogu, Kamal Wayam, said the assailants stormed the village on motorbikes and started shooting sporadically into the air. Look at the trend again. Look at the pattern, motorbikes. Now, the Sunday incident happened on Sunday in Niger State. Is coming a few days after gunmen stormed, of course, the Katsina State we're talking about. And as we discuss that also, Okunade, looks like you have a job on your hands to discuss the security matters this morning. Well, hopelessness yesterday enveloped efforts of stopping bandits in the north as suspected thugs attacked and disrupted the security meeting at Reveiw House in Kaduna, inflicting injuries on participants. The attackers, brandishing dangerous weapons, stormed the house at about 11 in the morning, cutting away valuables such as mobile phones and destroying properties worth millions of naira. I listened to the participants at the meeting. At that meeting, by the way, it's the meeting of the coalition of northern groups. Yeah, I listened to them, and maybe a good thing out of that speech, or that the speech they made and where they spoke with the media, would be the fact that they said they were able to spot one or two persons they recognize. What does this mean, especially for the northern part of the country? I mean, this is a situation all over the country. There are cases of kidnapping in Oyo State. 2 Indians kidnapped around the toll gate area of the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. One Lebanese was, received back from the kidnappers yesterday. Well, say rescued by the police. These are deep security issues we discuss week in, week out. What is going on? This is December 15 as well. Knowing that people are making plans already to make movements to different parts of the country.
You see, it was shocking to me yesterday when I read a report of the attack on the coalition of people coming to discuss security. And we have among them security experts, religious leaders, youths, and they came and been attacked by hoodlums. We have said it that because of the level of unemployment, the people that came to do these things are not strangers. They state from that report of what the man said yesterday, that they could identify 1 or 2 people. Is to tell you that what we have been saying times with that number is that the people that penetrate or perpetrate this evil stays within the environment. And there are people that know. There are people that we can say some of these politicians do make use of during election to destabilize things and have them. But after election, some of them are being abandoned and they react back with some of these things. Quite disheartening that people that have come to discuss how an area, a region is going to be discussed, is going to be saved, and being attacked. What do you say about that? We should just rise up at this point in time. You know, you're mentioning something like the Yaital period, people need to travel. I feel it's more safe at this point to stay wherever you are. Nowhere is safe. If Lagos, Ibadan, there are several people who apply. They are kidnapping and arresting people. What? And you know, now it's not the one at this side. It's not that they are killing. They are asking for ransom. You know, they might even misquote you. Possibly they see a very big car. Maybe you are just on an official assignment, being given one Prado Jeep to take you down to Ibadan. And they say, look at that vehicle coming. Because I think they just do a random check and pick up on individuals, thinking that at least with this nature of things, something can come out of it. But you know, you might discover that was just a messenger that they may not be able to do anything about. Right. So I would just feel that individuals should stay around where they are and let's be more security conscious. Nowhere as we speak is safe, and everybody is just looking for something to clip onto, possibly to use to survive for this meantime.
All right, let's talk about this. It's very important to social media users as we speak. A good number of young Nigerians are so concerned. Fast-rising Nigerian artists Omale and Thames have been arrested by officers of the Ugandan police force in Kampala, Uganda, for reportedly flouting COVID-19 guidelines. The singer, and the singers were arrested after their performances at the big brunch which held at Speak Resort, Wavamuno Road, Kampala, Uganda. And of course, the arrests have been confirmed. A good number of Nigerian artists, Biscuit, Burna Boy, are now calling on the Ugandan government to release these artists. You know, and according to report, they've been charged to courts, and according to the Ugandan law, if you perpetrate any act or you do anything that can help spread a disease in the country, you stand a chance of going to jail for 7 years. And this is the situation of according to reports, these people were just asked to come to perform at an event there. So there are people willing to go for the event there at Uganda. The organizers are there, but they were arrested with some other people. But at least that's the situation of things now. They're calling on the Nigerian government. Why can't you get these people out of there? You know, they only came to do a job. In fact, Ugandan artists are not even happy with the situation because they are claiming that we have had to stay here without doing any show. We've been instructed not to, of course, we're on lockdown technically. You know, that industry has been on lockdown for a while. So they're angry that someone would come from outside of the country and come and make money from the same business they've been asked not to do. So that is the situation of things now. NITCOM DG Abike Dabiri has reacted to this on Twitter, saying that they are doing all that it can. They've involved Geoffrey Onyema, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, to, you know, get them out. What can we learn from this?
Olaoluwa, you see, when we talk in terms of business, before you engage any engagement, before you have such engagement, I believe you must have acts of the due diligence. You can see the forth and back. Even the guys that are internal there are like, oh, we are happy that you are apprehending those people for violating the law. You should have asked questions. You saw what happened to that artist when we were locked down that traveled to Abuja, even locally, although he was penalized. That's a country. Some country don't take this thing lightly because the spread of that of COVID is what is really hampering the economic development, and they don't violate. I expected that their managers should have made due diligence of what is obtainable in the environment you are not familiar with. You see, it's only in this country you can do whatever you like. Some country don't take things lightly. They can go as far, if they mean it that you're going to go to jail for 7 years, you should have made your due diligence. This one that when they were entering into the contract of performing there, pardon me, it was not known to all of us. It is not that you are being picked. But you should have carry out your due diligence, confirm what is obtainable. There is nothing stopping you of turning down such thing. It's like you are looking at the gain, you know, and the other side. If you feel the gain outweigh the punishment, it's something you can do. But now that they've been arrested and they've been, taken to the court of law, everybody is saying, let the government intervene. These are things, they are not illiterate, they are well learned. They should have asked of the terms and conditions. They should have studied themselves. What is obtainable in that country? Nothing stops you of dropping that kind of thing if you know the environment is not conducive for you to do. Because no government will want a situation where you will compromise their laws.
Apparently, social media users don't feel this way.
Of course, they will.
I sort of share in Sesan's thought sentiment that maybe yes, his team should have done a lot more research and all of that. But then, we're here now. It looks like apparently, it is good that any government anywhere would want to protect lives and properties. We want to protect their citizens, which is fine. But I have seen images, I have seen videos from that concert. Have they arrested all of those Ugandans on that ground and that concert? Did they arrest every one of them? There are comments also about who organized the concert, who the promoter is. Have they been arrested
according
as well?
to reports, the promoters even worked with some of their police officers, because some of the police officers were on ground to ensure people get into the scene, unharassed,
and
unarrested.
Omale has been tweeting, and I find this disturbing. He's mentioned a few things, and they are very disturbing. First is the fact that he said yesterday via a tweet that why is Uganda not letting the Nigerian Ministry of Foreign Affairs step into this? They have been trying to secure a release to no avail. Okay, and he says, is there something bigger at play in Uganda? Why do I have to take the fall for this? Well, that's not even the most disturbing ones. He said, I didn't organize a show. I came on stage and saw teaming fans and sang to them. Why am I being detained? Why am I not given the right to fair hearing? Well, he's been to court anyway.
According to reports,
they've been in cuffs.
They were in handcuffs. In fact, Tem is now on hunger strike. That's the recent development. She has refused to eat anything, and according to report, for like 36 hours, she hasn't had anything to eat. That is the situation, there right now.
Olaoluwa, when it comes to things like this, I stand on my position. You are supposed to. It's like if you are inviting me here to talk. There are times you carry out what is going on in the area where you don't just move. He has managers, he has people that he make payment to, that on his payroll, that should have made inquiry. There are some shows they call them to, they will tell you, we can't come. Even if you're putting so much billions on it. So for you to come and say, I was invited to come and park, definitely the Ugandans will know how to deal with their people. All those things they know, but we should not fall prey. Anytime you are having any international show, make deal about the law. Do you know there are some countries, if you violate their law, it's killing straight. Well, they don't want to know whether you are, a stranger or you are their own. And their people always comply with the law. But don't let us be moved into that particular thing. That's why it's of essence that when you are carrying out shows or anything, know the laws of the land where you're going to, so that you don't fall prey into their hands.
And some people are saying that the fact that we're not taking COVID-19 restrictions seriously here doesn't mean other countries aren't.
Of course.
But some other questions are that, or some other people are asking a question that can they do that to a U.S. citizen? And they say it's just
no sentiment. If it is US, they will do the same. Some blacks don't give a damn.
Guideline breach. It's not like he killed someone while he's in handcuffs. But then...
But you don't know their laws
The studio lines are open. Let's throw this open. 08099 419418. 08099419418. Turn down the volume of your radio set before calling. Please mind your language on radio, and you have 60 seconds for your contribution. Hello, good morning.
Maureen,
welcome.
I want to speak on the kidnap operation.
Okay.
Nobody can say the number of children kidnapped up till now. Some news say 520, some say 600, some say 320, some say up till now. We are not sure of the kidnappment here.
The official figure is 333 thereabout.
Okay. in this country. We have entered one chance now with the present government. I don't foresee any solution to Nigerian problem. The leaders are very confused now, the way I see things. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your contribution. 08099419418. Let's take one more. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Yes, good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Terry. I'm calling from Lekki.
Go on, please.
About the Uganda issue, I can listen to your analyst. They have their laws. Like he said, the money would have found out all these things before they go in there. Whether they are doing that, whether they are living and living out and living in Nigerian television, whether they are in the issue, they have their laws. They will make their laws. We should have checked out all these things. Things that we get every and the media information that can that best. No problem, but it will be a lesson in Nigeria when they go abroad. So I said, now said that it is an American, we do the same thing. Let it come, but when they go to the American time, we know what they do. But for now, we are going to tell them, we should know to check.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, so Mayowa Omoyele says, what goes around comes around. Those whom we fail to educate and give jobs are now terrorizing the country, and that divine wisdom to lead us right. I pray for our leaders in Jesus' name. Thank you very much, Mayowa Omoyele.
Thank you everyone for being a part of the show today. Okunade, appreciate your coming, stopping by the show today.
It's a pleasure to be here.
All right, we're back again 7 o'clock tomorrow. Keep using the hashtag. Apologies, we can't take any more of your thoughts. Via Twitter right now, we see all of it. We appreciate it, Michael Ojoa and the rest. Thank you so much. Till tomorrow, Kingsley Bass is my name. Have a fantastic time.
Yes, my name is Olaoluwa, the news lady. I say don't let anyone or anything stop you from having an amazing day.
Olaoluwa, how we do?
I'm fine,
I've
sir. I'm
seen
coming.
the flyer, so I'm excused to be here.
No, your own is constant now. That one is just for the 10:30 to.
Okay, 10:30.
That one is not for the news analysis.
Okay.
Exactly.
I will stand by.
All right, sir.
Hello everyone, how are you today? I know we have been held down by COVID-19 over the past few months, but we're getting past it gradually. Some of you are working from home and others were working in the office, but I know that as you struggle one way or the other on a daily basis, one thing in your mind is where you're living, your home. It's so important because if you find a place to stay and you have a home, you have some peace of mind. And I'm going to introduce to you one company